Ever felt like you're repeating logging or validation code in every service? What if I told you there's a cleaner way to do this using aspect-oriented programming, or AOP? AOP is a way to separate cross-cutting concerns like logging, security, and metrics. Instead of writing the same code in every class, you write it once in an aspect and let Spring handle the rest. Imagine you want to log every time a method is called, but instead of adding log statements in each method, you're going to have a single aspect that is going to handle all of this for you. I will be showing you this and much more using a practical example. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want me to continue making these videos. Here are some key things to know about AOP. An aspect is a class that defines cross-cutting logic. An advice is an action we're going to take either before, after, or around a method. Then we've got the point cut. This is where we're going to apply the advice. A join point is the actual execution point of a method. Think of a join point as any method call. A point cut instead is a filter for these method calls. And lastly, we've got weaving, which is the process of linking aspect to business logic. You will find aspect-oriented programming used in logging, permission checks, caching, metrics and monitoring, and transactions. It is good on handling repeated actions that we want to perform throughout our application. By the way, don't worry if things don't make sense yet, it's going to be much clearer once we write some code. So stay with me. Some of the things you shouldn't do with AOP is avoid putting business logic in aspects, make point cuts too specific. Now let me show you aspect-oriented programming in action with actual code examples using Spring Boot and Java. I have created a sample Spring Boot project that is going to simulate a payment system. It's really just the bare minimum, so it's a skeleton of a project. In this project we've got a controller package, DTO package, and a service package. In the controller we have a payments controller class. This class, as you can see, has two endpoints, so it has a create and a update. What I meant initially that we usually have to add logging in our methods. This is how you would do it. You would have a log at the beginning once you get the request from the client, and then you would have a log just before returning saying that this endpoint has returned successfully. If you had multiple controller classes with multiple methods, this becomes quite long and it has useless repeated code, which we can actually simplify a lot using aspects. We could get rid of these in all the places. Before going into that, let me show you how the service class looks like. It just contains dummy methods that return an object, which are here in our DTO class. Nothing special. We've got a sleep that is just adding some execution time, and you'll see why I've added this later. For now, let's try to make this code better. So let's try to have this logging done without having any logging in our controller class. So let me remove this. And now let's create a new package called aspect. In here we're going to create a new class called logging aspect. So we need to add some tags in here, but before being able to add those tags, we need to do something in the pom.xml. We need to add the dependency for AOP. So if you go to pom.xml, let's add the new dependency, which is this one over here. We need to add Spring Boot Starter AOP, and this is going to allow us to use all the annotations related to aspect-oriented programming. So let's go back to our logging aspect and let's add a bunch of annotations. So this is an aspect class, so we need aspect. This is also a component, and let's add also logging using Lombok. So I've also imported Lombok as a dependency just here in the pom.xml. So as you can see, we've just got 4 dependencies. We don't need anything else. So if you remember, I talked about few of the main components of AOP. So the first thing we're going to need is actually the point cut. So this is going to be run at execution time. no matter what the return type is, which is defined by this star, it's going to match all the classes and all the methods in this package over here in our controller package. And this defines the point cut, which is where this aspect is going to intervene. So we want to add some logging. As we saw, we want to add logging when we start the method and when we finish the method. So we're going to add a before annotation, and this is going to run before this point cut here, the controller methods. And what we want to do is we want to add some logging. I'm simply going to add this method called log before, where we're going to pass the join point and we're going to log few things. So first of all, I want to know which method is being called. And we can get this information from the join point by getting the signature and then the name. And we can do the same thing for the arguments. We can get the arguments from the join point. And this is all we need over here. Let's add some logs after returning. To do that, we can simply use after returning tag. We need to define the point cut, which is the one we had defined up here, controller methods. And we want to save the result of these methods in a variable called result. So you can give it any name you want. I decided to call it result. And we want to log the controller method name and what it has actually returned. So as I said, the return is going to be saved in a variable called result, which as you can see, it's getting passed here, but is also defined in the tag. By adding these three small methods, we are going to be able to handle all the controller classes in this package. And no matter how many methods you've got, you don't have to write logs for each of them. As you can see, the code looks way nicer and cleaner. And all the logging is going to be handled by this aspect. Let's try and see if this works and what actually gets printed. Before being able to run this, we need to add another annotation in the application. So we need to enable the aspect in Spring Boot. We can use this tag called enable aspect JAutoProxy. And now let's run this application. So application has started. I'm going to remove these logs so it's cleaner. Let's call these endpoints. Let's start by the create endpoint. I've opened Postman. I've created a post request to create. This is what it returned, our dummy result. If we go onto Spring Boot, this is how our logs look like. We have the first log we had defined in our aspect, which says the name of the method we called. So we call create payment, the arguments we actually passed to this endpoint. And then at the end, when the execution finished, we have our finishing logging, which is part of the after returning tag. And as you can see, this is what has been returned. So this was the create. Let me quickly show you also the update. So if we send an update, it returned something. Now, if we go over to Spring Boot, we can see now we have a new log line. It called the method update payment, the arguments that were passed, and the response we returned. As you can see, this has actually allowed us to add logging in a very smart way. So let's say in future you want to change the format of your logging. You won't have to do it for all the methods. You can just go in your aspect, do it once, and it will be applied to all of them. Let me also show you how to handle exceptions. So you can also add another join point, which is going to be after throwing. So what this does is it takes a point cut as input. So for all of these methods in the controller class, if something throws an exception, we can log the error. This will take the name of the method and print out the exception. The exception will be saved in a local variable called exception. So let's go to our controller and let's add the new endpoint, which is simply going to throw an exception. So I just created this delete endpoint, and when you call it, it's just going to throw an exception. Let's rerun this. Started successfully. I'll just clear it out so it's easier for us to see what's happening. Let's go to Postman and let's call this delete endpoint. So it has returned 500 as expected. But if you go to the logs, we should be seeing a log that the error occurred while deleting payment. So this is the message we had in our runtime exception. And here we've got the log line that we were expecting from the logging aspect. It has code that we call the delete payment method with no arguments. And then it has printed the exception we wanted it to print as an error. And you can see this makes your life way easier. We can also track runtime of methods. So we saw how logging works, but let's say you wanted to track how long your methods take to run. We can do that using another aspect. So let's create a new aspect for execution tracking. So I call it execution tracker aspect. We need the same tags as before. Aspect, component, and let's add some logging. In here, we are now going to create this method to track execution of our methods. As you can see, this point cut is a bit different than before. This is an around. This will be run before and after a method execution, and it will only run for methods tagged with this annotation. So what is this annotation? You might be wondering. As we saw in the logging aspect, here we catch all the methods and classes with any arguments running in this package called controller. Of course, you can make it more specific over here, but let's say you want to be able to track only specific methods that you have added a tag to. We can create a custom tag to do that, and I'm going to create a new package called annotation. In here, we're going to create a new interface called track execution. So this should be an interface, and we're going to be add the tag because this is going to be a tag, and we want to set the target as a method. So we can apply this to a method, and the retention is going to be at runtime. So we want this to be run at runtime. That's when aspects actually run. So now we can take this track execution and we can add it to any method we want. For example, let's go to our service class. And let's say I want to track the execution of our create payment. Maybe I'm having some issues and I want to see how long this takes. We can simply add this annotation. This execution tracker aspect is going to do something around that method. So let's take a look at what's happening. We're gonna save in a variable the start time. Then using the preceding join point, we're going to actually execute the method. So this start happens just before the method gets executed. We then execute the method. Once the method has finished execution, we save the end time, and then we simply calculate the execution time and we return the result. This is very powerful. You can now go and add this track execution annotation anywhere you want to track execution time. So let's execute this. So let's rerun this. Application has started. Let's go to Postman and let's call the create again. Now we've also got an execution time log over here that is being added by the execution tracker aspect that gives us how long that method took to run. So if we call the update, we should not see this because we have not added the tracking annotation. Let me just quickly show you. We are calling the update and no execution time has been applied. Let's say now we also wanted to track the execution time for that update. We can simply go to our method and add this track execution time. Let's rerun this. And if I call the update, we can see that the execution time gets printed for update endpoint as well. Hopefully you can see how aspect-oriented programming helps us to build enterprise-level application in a better and more readable way. The only thing you have to be careful is to not overuse this because it might make debugging a bit harder. But if used in the right way, it's a powerful tool that is going to simplify code. As you can see, we just added this annotation and we were able to get the execution time of this whole method. The same way, we managed to improve logging for these controllers by just having a logging aspect that is going to catch all the methods in that controller class. So if you had multiple classes with multiple methods, you don't need to add these logs everywhere. You can simply do it here. Hope you found this video useful, and if you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe, as it allows me to make more videos for you, all completely free of charge.